Good morning and welcome to Morning Scoop for Saturday, September 25th. This is your daily Buckeye fix. I'm Tom Orr. The Akron game is today, the game against Michigan in 63 days. That game against Akron kicks off at 7:30 on Saturday night. You can watch it on Big Ten Network. There's a little more intrigue around that game now than there was a few days ago. That's because, barring some kind of crazy last-minute change, Ohio State will have a new starting quarterback this weekend. CJ Stroud is getting the weekend off to rest his sore right shoulder. So a quarterback who is yet to throw a pass at the college level, and quite possibly one who's never even taken a snap at the college level, will be getting the start instead. Thursday afternoon, Ryan Day addressed the media to discuss that situation with Stroud. He was asked if he was ready to name another starter, and then you're going to hear a couple of follow-up questions from Clay Hall at ABC6.
We'll see how CJ feels today, and then as we get closer to game time, we'll kind of make that final decision.
Is Quinn Ewers able to play?
Right now, he'd be unavailable.
And as far as CJ's situation, is this a little bit of a pitch count kind of thing, or do you think a week off will have him ready to go?
Yeah, we wanted to have some rest going into this week and try to allow him the opportunity to get stronger. And we're taking it day by day. But I think the mindset right now would be, to use him in an emergency role only on Saturday. But we'll see how he's feeling today.
Day has not named his starter just yet, but Kyle McCord is considered the most likely guy to start on the game tonight. So he has not played a snap yet in college. So how comfortable is Day with possibly playing a first-time starter in that kind of game?
I mean, it was the same situation we had with CJ first game, if that's the case. We have young quarterbacks, and that's going to be how it works. At some point, you got to get them out there, and you got to let them play and learn from their mistakes. And so, we just trust what we see in practice. And it's all about their preparation. They're going against really good players every day in practice. And it's time to, go let some other guys possibly get some action, probably this weekend based on, how CJ comes in today. But that's a good thing. We knew going into the season that we're going to need the whole room. We talked about that coming in, that this wasn't just going to probably be one guy, that we're going to need everybody. And we certainly know the story on that. In 2014, we needed, JT, Cardell, and Braxton. And this year, maybe is similar to that way. I don't know. We'll see. But this is a great opportunity to possibly get these guys some reps. And it looks like maybe the opportunity is going to present itself here.
Day said that both Jack Miller and Kyle McCord, who are kind of the two candidates to start tonight, had both been looking good in practice. So you'll hear a little bit about that. And then you're going to hear a follow-up from Austin Ward of Letterman Row on when that decision was going to be made for sure.
I think that over the last 3-4 weeks, there's been improvement in that room. And I think that, those guys taking the 2 reps, you don't get as many reps, obviously, as you do with the ones. This week, they've gotten more reps, and that's been good. But I think just being a part of the meetings, the games, seeing what happens in preparation, see what happens during the week in our preparation, the better that we practice, the better that we play, how important timing is during the week. All those things add up. And now that they've gone through a couple of weeks, they see what it looks like, and they've gone through warm-ups. They've done everything now. And so that's good. And so now it's going to be, exciting to see these guys get on the field. These guys have both got reps. They both got reps with the ones. We split them, pretty good across the board during the week. And they both picked up the game plan. They both, I think feel pretty good going into a Thursday practice. Still got a lot more preparation to go here as we get to Saturday night. But we'll see how today goes, and we'll just keep looking at it. And, the good thing is, I think that we have some guys who, are excited about getting some reps under their belt. And I think that's exciting for our entire team to see those guys play.
When would you tell one or the other that they might get the first snap on Saturday?
Yeah, we'll take a look at it today, and probably by tomorrow we'll put a plan together of exactly how we see the game playing out.
So whenever the Buckeyes have that starter, are they going to pick one guy to play and just ride with him all night? Or are they going to be rotating Kyle McCord and Jack Miller throughout the game? Here's what Day had to say about that.
We pick one and then go from there. And then if the opportunity presents itself, let the other guy, get a drive. But I think the best thing to do is we got to go win the game and figure out which quarterback we think allows us the opportunity to do that, and then go from there.
We were sort of speculating at the end of the last game, maybe this is what they were going to do. It seemed kind of logical, like this was maybe a good time if they were going to give CJ Stroud a week off, this would be the week to do it. But how did the decision to potentially shut him down for the week actually go? Here's what Ryan Day had to say.
We talked about it. I mean, this wasn't something that was regulated. We talked about it and we decided that that'd be good, really smart to kind of shut him down for a couple days. And we'll see how he's feeling right now. We'll see how he's feeling today coming in. But that, there was still kind of, this feeling that he had that, really couldn't shake. And so maybe rest is something that would go a long way for him. And then, allow some of these other guys to practice and move forward here. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how he's doing. We'll see how he's feeling. And obviously his feedback is important. If he's ready to roll, then let's go. But I think rest here is probably going to be the best option moving into the weekend. Just again, we shut him down. Tuesday and Wednesday. Those are our big practices, and didn't throw Sunday after the game. And, we just got together and decided that this is probably the best thing to do. And then, reevaluate it here in a couple of days and see if that rest has helped.
Day has kind of an interesting perspective on this kind of situation because he, of course, was a former college quarterback himself. He said this was actually fairly similar to a spot that he was in at one point when he was a starting quarterback at New Hampshire.
Yeah, I actually kind of went through a similar thing when I played. I had an injury in my shoulder, and it kind of took a week to kind of settle down a little bit, and then I felt like I was better a week after. Yeah, that was me. And so these are the things you try to figure out. You try to figure out, like you said, do you work through it, or do you rest it? What makes the most sense? And so really, what we do is we just turn to the doctors and our medical staff and take their opinions on it. Get CJ's feedback and try to make the best decision moving forward. And hopefully, this is an opportunity to get healthy again, and then we can kind of regroup from there.
So again, all of these quotes from Ryan Day were from Thursday. So those guys likely now know who the starter is going to be by the time you're listening to this. So can one of those guys, whoever it is, potentially win the starting job with an incredible performance tonight? Or is this definitely still CJ Stroud's job when he comes back?
Everything's an evaluation for sure. And again, this is a long season. So you just don't know what's coming next. And that's what I talk to our guys about all the time, that, all I knew for sure was that in the first week, we were going to have a starter named at Minnesota, and then, the season's going to go from there. And so here we are. And, I think it's a great opportunity for guys reps, and it'll be a great evaluation moving forward. But, we'll just kind of see. I mean, let's just get through today and see where this goes.
Believe it or not, we did talk about something other than the quarterbacks at one point this week. One of the topics we talked about, other than those QBs, was the one of the more pleasant surprises of this season, who is true freshman cornerback Denzel Burke. He just walked right onto the field as a starter in the first game of his true freshman season and has just kind of gotten better from there. Here's what Day had to say about Burke. Burke has been a big story this season, but we haven't really gotten a chance to hear much from him directly yet. So this week, we did get a chance to talk to him after practice on Wednesday. He shared the story of how Ohio State first tried to recruit him, not as a cornerback, but as a wide receiver.
Coach Hartline recruited me first at a receiver, but then I told him I wanted to play corner. So he connected me with Coach Coombs, and Coach Coombs gave me the offer, and it's been a blessing ever since.
Why did you want to play corner?
I've always loved corner. Receiver was more of like a fun thing for me, but defense is my thing.
Burke appeared to have his first career interception against Tulsa, but it was overturned on replay. Here's a little back and forth between Burke and reporters asking about that play.
I was hurt, but
Did you get an explanation of that? Or what
they said the receiver caught the ball, but I definitely had my hands on the ball. And then when I went to the ground, it was definitely my possession. So,
what's that like to get that flip like that, Denzel? I mean, even your coach was standing up for you, Coach Day. What's it like to have that kind of effort and have it flipped?
Man, it just shows I got to keep going harder. Try to get the next one, just next play.
Yeah.
In addition to Burke, there's another guy who is playing a much bigger role than you probably expected a few weeks ago. That is offensive lineman Matt Jones. He stepped into the starting lineup when Thayer Munford went down with an injury. Now, Jones actually entered camp expecting to start this year, but when the coaching staff made that big shift, you remember moving Munford inside to guard and Nick Petit-Frere over to left tackle, DeJuan Jones into right tackle, Matt Jones was the odd man out. He was pretty honest this week about what that was like for him to go into camp expecting to start and then not be able to do that.
It was hard dealing with that. Many times, you try to drop your head, but you got to pick it up. But at the same time, I just try to stay positive. Just try.
Ryan Day said on the radio on Monday, he said, you were a guy that you could have gone into his office and complained that you weren't starting. Did you ever want to?
There's times, no. But at the same time, I just feel like there's nothing better than home than here. So it's like, if I was to make that choice, it's like weird. You just don't want to make another step to something that would be worse. And just improve, really.
So even if you're not a starter, this is still where you want to be?
Yes.
Jones is definitely making the most of his opportunity now that he has gotten a chance to start. He was graded a champion last week and was pretty impressive if you went back and watch him kind of pushing people around on the offensive line. But, off the field, he is kind of a fun interest. He recently started fixing up old cars. He has a 1990 Nissan 300ZX where he completely rebuilt the engine himself. So here's a little from Matt about his hobby.
No, every part is going to be challenging to remove and study, because if you don't do it right, of course you got to do it all over again. So just about taking steps and patience to getting things right the first time and not the second time. And on the field, just it's steps to things, and I just see it as every day I have to improve and get better. You just don't know when your name will be called, but you just got to be ready.
So Matt, building off of that, what kind of car were you when you got here, and what are you now?
You saying car?
Yeah, like what were you as far as the rebuild, as far as the restoration of a vehicle? What were you as a player when you got here versus what you are now?
So you want me to compare myself as a car?
Yes, I do. I believe you can do it.
I think I'll say I was a Volkswagen Beetle.
Okay.
And now I could possibly say, it's hard, but I'm big into cars. I could possibly say that I'm a 70 Chevrolet.
Now, a player who can fix cars is obviously going to be a popular guy, and Jones said he has helped out some of his teammates who were having car troubles in the past.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. A lot of teammates come to me and ask me to fix their cars, with free willing, especially like Chris Olave, he had problems with his car and then got it fixed.
You fixed the car?
Yeah.
Did you try it?
No.
You must be very popular.
Teammate, yeah.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We always get really good feedback on these shows where we let you just kind of hear directly from the Buckeyes. So we'll keep doing those because you guys do seem to like them. And I like hearing stories like Matt Jones and his interest in cars. Like, it gives you a little behind the scenes perspective on who these guys are. They're not just football players. They do have other interests, and they are in fact human beings with interests and friends and all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of fun to get to see that side of them every once in a while as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And we will be live at Ohio Stadium a little later on this afternoon or early this evening with pregame shows for the Ohio State Akron game. There's going to be a bunch to talk about as we talk about the new starting quarterback, all that stuff, what that could mean both tonight and long term for this team. There's going to be plenty of stuff to discuss. You're also probably going to see lots of players playing tonight. Probably will not be a super close game, so you'll get a chance to see a lot of younger players play tonight, which is always kind of fun. So that'll be great. We will be live at Ohio Stadium a little later on this afternoon or early this evening to preview all of that. And the best way to make sure you don't miss that is by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/BuckeyeScoop and hit the little bell. Or if you're just watching this video on YouTube right now, you can hit the little bell or hit the little Buckeye Scoop logo that's going to pop up on the screen at the end of this video. That will subscribe you to our YouTube channel, and then you'll get a notification on your phone every time we go live. So when we do a player or coach interview, you'll be able to see it live. When we do a pregame show, a postgame show, you'll be able to see it live. You'll never miss anything. You won't have to sit there and refresh our channel constantly. It'll tell you when we're ready to go. You can hop on. You won't miss anything. It's all free. It's all at youtube.com/Buckeye Scoop. That'll do it for today. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a great day. Enjoy the football. We will talk to you a little before the game.